Crafty. How are you this morning? I have no makeup on. It's a no makeup Monday. I just didn't have time. I didn't have time. How's it going? It's very dark in here. I need better lighting. Trying to put a pair of gloves on. Everybody knows I'm not a morning person, right? And it may just be the two of us. Oh, hello, the three of us. Then, let's see. Is that Venus? Venus, welcome in, welcome in. We're going to work with some Resinecrete today, which is one of my favorite things to work with. I am 100% thoroughly addicted to it. And then we're going to pour some Wolfie things today. Again, because it is Monday and we have to unveil wolves tonight. But is there anything? Yeah, I feel you. Oh no. Hello, Ophelia's Funko Farm. Welcome in. I'm not wearing makeup today. Please ignore my face. This is going to be a crafting session, so I'm actually going to be on the table for most of it. But I wanted to come on first and just say what we're doing. So I have been working with Resinecrete for about a year now. Resinecrete is a substance that's kind of a mix between I wish I didn't have to, but I mean, that's not true. I actually really enjoy the art of makeup. I like to put it on. I like to do like the artistic viewpoint of it. So I actually really do like makeup also. Troll mode. I don't mind an occasional troll mode for me, but I'm sure you're absolutely gorgeous, my friend. Absolutely. You do too much for other people not to be. Oh, sorry. I'm trying not to hit that the arm to my phone holder, but it is charging because I'm struggling with tech this morning. So anyways, we're working with Resinecrete today. But is there anything particular you guys would like to see poured? Like any particular animal that I can see if I can find, or something you've been wanting to see in Resinecrete that I haven't pulled to the table? We're also pouring a giant unicorn, which I'm very excited about. Um, so what we're working with today is we're using Magic Pour by Litz Resin. It is a 3-to-1 powder. Do I measure? Heck no, I don't. I just scoop it in the bucket and I hope that it's the best that it is. But I'm usually mixing and spending so much unnecessary effort because I'm not measuring. I'll be honest with you. That's the truth. Hello, Indy. Welcome in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, Sadie's, welcome in. I'm going to give some powers, if you don't mind, Crafty, to you to moderate. You don't have to, don't feel obligated. But once I put the screen down on the table, I won't be able to answer questions. And I know that Crafty works with Resinecrete a lot. So she'll be able to answer some of those questions as well. Okay, perfect. I know you're not a morning person either. Neither one of us are. So what I have used in the past is I have used J. Diction's pigments. So that's J. Diction Resinecrete pigments. I like Mondays. It's a fresh start. I have the only one that I have gone through completely, and I've had these for probably about 6 or 7 months, is the black, because I mean, let's face it, we use a lot of black, right? And I tried to just go in and buy just black pigment. Not available. It's not available. Guys, I did wash my face. But that is just leftover eyeliner there. Oh, well. Okay. So these pigments are very, very nice. I actually really like them a lot. But what I was trying to do was to find some black. And then I was going through reviews and I saw this We Like, and I'd never heard of it before today. This We Like, or before I ordered it. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Oh, good, good, good. You're going to love this. Thanks. You're going to love this because this stuff is so addicting. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm sorry for like starting your new addiction on a new product because you're going to see how easy this is compared to like regular resin. And yeah, you know what? Regular resin still has a giant place in my heart for sure because I like the see-through, um, the ability to like make see-through items, the ability to color things, the ability to add inclusions. You can't do that with Resin-Crete. But what you can do is you can pour and unmold in 30 minutes. And that is exciting for resin artists because most of the time it's a minimum of at least 2 hours for us, unless we're using polyurethane, which again is hard to color because it's either white or black. You can add stuff to it, but then it just comes out a lighter color, kind of like this one does. So not very easy to color. The other great thing about Resin-Crete is it's highly paintable. So it's a mix between concrete and resin. It dries a little bit stronger than the old like porcelain of the day and the old what do you call that? Ceramics. It's a little bit harder than ceramics, but if you drop it, it does break. So whereas resin is a little bit more resilient, this is a little bit softer. But if you get the right consistency, which is like yeah, pretty close to the same thing. If you pour it close to like a pancake batter substance, then it becomes a little bit stronger. So try not to water it down too much, although it's very tempting to make your product stretch a little farther. By the way, welcome in, I Love Ginger, and welcome in, Euphoria. So excited you guys are here. Okay, so we're going to open this up. And again, I was telling them, I had to open a new one today because we went through our last one. I was telling everybody I'm using Magic Pour by Litz Resin. And it is a 3-to-1, and you just mix it with water. I keep everything on the ground, so you're going to see me like reaching down to get stuff off the floor. That's what I'm doing. I also reuse my cups. I am a cheap crafter. I do not like to throw stuff away. Okay, you got it, Envy. I don't like to throw things away at all because I just, you know, we got to be sustainable in our craft. And so I try my best to be. I don't like to throw anything away. I'm like, oh, look at that string. I can use that later. And you know what? I do sometimes, although I really do need to get rid of some stuff in here. So I did have a decrafting destash show last night with Ophelia's group. It didn't go well, but I sold some things. Okay. So is there any particular animal or something that you guys like to see that I could pour today? Anybody? I'm excited about this unicorn. I bought it used. Somebody has already painted it. They might have stained it. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't even try and clean it because the Resin-Crete will, yeah, it's stained. That's not a problem for the Resin-Crete. You're just here to learn. Okay, let's pour this guy. Let's pour, let's pull out a couple more animals that we can paint later. You know what? It's been a while since I've poured a moose. So let's pour this little reindeer moose guy. I like him a lot. And I actually have been wanting to do, I need to send a friend that. And then let's find our little bear, because I also need to paint one of these. All right. Now we have a ton of molds on the table because we're also pouring for tonight's wolf show. But what I want to do with these two molds right here, these two right here are, and these are getting very old. I need to replace them. I'm very sad that they're going bad on me, but I think I have some more coming in the mail because my wonderful friend, Scorpio's Creations, found these. I've looked for them and they were sold out. And she found them, bought a ton of them, and she's sending me a few to replace. So that is awesome. A moose is close. Bison. Yeah, I don't have a bison. I would like to have one, though. That would be amazing. So what I'm going to do with these two is I'm going to do a comparison between the We Like and the Jadiction. So what color would you guys like to see? By the way, I do have these old pigments that came with my first set of Resin-Crete. I'm not sure. Guys, I'm not sure what brand it is, but I never looked. It's the same brand we're trying. Green. I was going to say green. So I do have experience with these. I just didn't realize it. And that's okay. They're not bad. I just really do like the J Diction better. So now we know. So this is a fuller set than what I bought initially. And they do look quite different. So we'll have to see if they've changed, because those are about 1.5 years old. And I do think that this is a lot darker green. I think that's going to be really pretty. And I'm glad that you chose green, because I do have a show coming up that is green based. They might have upgraded just to compete. I do like these tips. Those are very nice. I will tell you the reason I'm putting on gloves is because every time I cut a new one of these bottles, it squirts everywhere. It does just a freaking mess. So I decided that we're going to wear gloves today. This Resin-Crete is actually, it's considered to be non-toxic, and no fumes. But I will say that, see what it says on here is, I have the instructions up on the table because I wanted to have them in case we needed them. And I dropped them. They say that it is odorless, fast curing, self-leveling, easy to mix, easy to demold. It self-degasses. It does not self-degas. I kind of disagree with that one. It is a 98% whiteness. So it says, please try and wear masks and gloves when working and operating in a windless environment. So we're going to be basically working in a windless environment. We are in my studio, and we have our air purifier on down under by my feet. And I am going to wear gloves because let me tell you one thing that I have learned is, even though it is non-toxic and it's odorless and all of that other stuff, it does dry your hands out like crazy. So I can use it without this, but I'm going to wear gloves today because I don't want my hands to be really dry. Basically, they say measure it out, weigh it, do your ratios, stir it up quickly for about 30 seconds, mix evenly, and then quickly pour the liquid into the mold. Wait 30 minutes to demold. And after the liquid is poured into the mold, the mixing cup and mixing should be cleaned immediately. I just let it dry and I crack it off. So, and then the instructions are in German. So we're not going to try and read those. All right, so here we go. We're just going to start in our white bucket, and we're going to do our 2 greens first. I think I have a green little pouring. I have another white one right here, and I do have a Chuck It bucket. This is my Chuck It bucket. I just crack the Resin-Crete into this bucket, and then I actually use these pieces later in other pieces. So we call that the Chuck It bucket. When we're not on live, we actually do another word that rhymes with that is inappropriate that I will not share. Not this early in the morning, guys. Not this early in the morning. Okay. All right. So we're going to cut the green open and hope that it doesn't squirt all over us. Here we go. Okay, not too bad. I mean, we got a little bit on there. Is this black? No, it says green. It says green, but it looks very, very dark. Okay, we're going to have that one at the ready. And then we are going to have our green from J Diction ready. We already dropped our lid. We drop stuff all the freaking time. All the time, guys. All the time. All right. So we're going to just go ahead and start this. And I'm actually going to move you guys down onto the table and turn on another light. I already have Resin-Crete all over my pants. Okay, can you guys see? I think you can. I think you can see. Let me see if I can push this up just a little bit. Oop, nope, that's not what we want to do. We want to go down. Okay, so we've got our two wolves right here. We're going to push these back out of the way so that we have a very little working surface on the table for where this stupid phone thing hits. So let's move this into view. We're going to actually try and measure today. What the heck? We're going to do 1 scoop, 2 scoops, and 3 scoops. And then we're going to do 1 cup of water. So that's supposed to be the 1 to 3. And we'll see if that's the actual consistency that we want. Now remember, it said stir for like 30 seconds, right? So you got to be pretty quick with Resin-Crete. But I found that if you keep mixing it, it actually gives you more time. By the way, a fork is the best thing to use to mix this stuff up. I know that seems really strange, but I also don't ever reuse this one, right? Now you can see that actually took a lot of the Resin-Crete down to like a smaller amount. So I disagree that that's the right mixture too, because it's very, very thin. Let me bring this up so I can stir and get all of the stuff. I guess it's thickening up a little bit. All right, okay. That's pretty good. It's still, in my opinion, it's still a little on the thin side. I like mine a little bit thicker than that. So I am going to add a little bit more. I'm going in with a new, scooper so that the other one doesn't get yucky. And this is how I wind up mixing like 5 million different times. And I also didn't measure what size my molds were, which always makes you craft in a hurry because this stuff dries really fast, right? So, okay, let's get us a few of these. We got a cup for the green. And we got another cup for the green, which I should have had out and ready, but I didn't. These break. These are not very reusable because when you go to crack the Resin-Crete out of them, they do break. But they also were cheap. So, all right, we're going to mix equal-ish amounts into each one so that we can get the 2 different color pigments and hope that this is enough to fill both of our wolves. I think it's going to be more than plenty, honestly. Now, we do want them to be pretty equal because the drops also depend heavily on how much white there is, right? So we want it to be a fair assessment difference between the two. So we want to get pretty close in our amount of Resin-Crete that we're using into each one so that it's a fair assessment. Okay, so I would say they're pretty close. Maybe back this one down just a slight bit. I'd say they're pretty stinking close. Okay, so we're gonna go in now. We have two distinct wolves. This one I poured glass in this one last week, so it stained it pink. So we're gonna go with the We Like in the pink and J Diction in this white clearer one. Okay, so we're gonna put We Like. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 drops because I want these to be really pigmented. And then in J Diction, we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. Okay, so far they look pretty identical. Maybe this one's dispersing a little bit faster. This one's kind of just puddling in the middle. So we will see. We're going to mix up J Diction first. And I'm sorry I'm missing your comments, guys, but and they usually turn this kind of Pepto-Bismol, kind of minty green because you're mixing it with so much white. Does that surprise you guys that there is so little color left after mixing that much white in there? Because that always surprises me. Like, I like a vibrant, deep green. And you know what? We're going to try and achieve that today. So we're going to go 2 more drops. 2 more big juicy drops. And we're going to see if we can get it a little bit darker. Did that help? Maybe just a little bit. I think probably not so much. But that's kind of how your pigment gets expensive too, because, you know, we use 6 drops of this, correct? So it adds up. All right, we're going to wipe this off in fairness of the actual challenge so that there's no pigment mixtures. And we're going to stir this bad boy up. And this one was already getting, oh, guys, look at the difference in the pigmentation. Wow. I'm shook right now, honestly. We're going to add 2 more because we're going to keep this the same. Their drops are also a lot smaller because the tip is a lot smaller. So I feel like there's even less pigment in this than there is in the other side, and it's way darker. Okay, so the other thing is going to be, are they going to pour even? God, I hope this is enough for each wolf. I really hope this is enough. And I did exactly what I told Brian not to do yesterday. I left my fork sitting in my color. Luckily it was just white, but now I can't get the white out of the thing. So wipe these off right away because it is metal and it does bond. Okay, so we like going in the red one. And halfway through your pour on Resin-Crete, you want to go in and you want to do the squishy wishy and tappy wappy. If you watch Steve McDonald, you'll know what I'm talking about. But you want to tap those bubbles up. When it says it's self-leveling and bubble popping, it tries to be, but the ears on these and right here underneath their little snout tend to get a bubble. They tend to get bubbly. I don't know how we managed this, but it was the perfect amount. It was the perfect amount. I was thinking it wasn't going to be enough, but we even have a few more drops. We're going to let that settle for just a second, and then we may be able to add some more in. Okay, I got to hurry because this side is now drying on me and getting thicker. We're halfway through, so tappy, tappy, squishy, wishy. If you can actually see bubbles pop up, that's great, but if not, you may have some trapped in there. Okay, so we're also going to let that one settle in just a little bit. If you don't get enough in these, then their little feet are super fragile. So I like to make sure that I get a really good pour on these. But if you go too much, then they won't sit even. So it's like a catch-22. Woo, see, that's really thickening up now. That is really thickening up. Okay, we have enough in both of these to actually pour into. Always, always, always have other molds nearby. I'm going to see if I can get any more out of these and actually put them into a little skull mold we have here. Because remember, we have that green show coming up, so any little green things we can have, the better. It's called Skittles if you want to bookmark it. Everything will be green based. I don't think we're going to have enough to fill this little mold up. I could be wrong. I'm going to set these back a little bit so I don't dump them, which is a tragedy. It is such a tragedy to dump those because you can't get it back. It will go on the table and it just won't, you just can't recover it. So this little skull is going to have to be like two-tone green, and there's not going to be enough of this. And sometimes when you pour Resin-Crete later on top of another layer, it won't bond. It's just the way it is. So we may have to scrap this one when we pull it out, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Another great thing about Resin-Crete, super easy to clean. Super easy to clean up your stuff. Could I wipe these out right now? Yes. Am I going to? No. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're just going to let them dry and then we'll squish them. And if the cup doesn't break on us, then we'll use them again. Okay. So those two are done. We're going to let those dry over there. I'm going to do my best not to tap my Wolfies that are sitting here and knock them over. So we're going to move them to the side. And remember, 30 minutes to dry. So I have no idea what time it is. But we will unmold those two today. Okay, we're going to put our lids back on these because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Put your lids back on. All right, I'm going to pull this up and see if there's any questions that I'm missing. Oh, good morning, Resin Mascara Mary. I'm not a morning person. Bear with me. That's okay, Brian. Okay, by weight, by not by volume. Yeah. We're mixing some Resin-Crete today. Good morning, good morning. Oh, awesome. I'm super glad that you're here to see this. It is more like it can be stone colored. Like if you use black in it, it definitely does look like concrete. And if you don't mix the Resin-Crete dye up really well, you can actually get layers and make it look like wood. You can make it look like stone. Here's an example. This has got to be mailed out today, but this is a volcano I created in it, and you can see it actually does look like stone, and that is because I used a ton of black pigment. And I created lava. I'm so proud of that piece. She had issues. Her wings were too heavy, so I had to bring her down and wire wrap her this morning. So thank you. Okay, so what color do we want to do the unicorn? It is a unicorn skeleton. I'm super excited about this. This is going to be a lot of concrete. I mean, a lot of Resin-Crete. I know. And the good thing is you can use the same purple. I was thinking purple. So you can use the same molds as you do your regular resin, but I will tell you it does leave a film inside of your molds. So whenever I can, if I know I'm going to use a lot of Resin-Crete, I try and keep my molds that are resistant to resin because they're starting to like stick to the resin or to dull out, and I use those for Resin-Crete. This is the first time I'm pouring anything into this one, but it's also a used mold. As you can see, it actually has pigment on it, and we tried to wipe that off. It doesn't come off, so I'm pretty sure that it's probably stained, which is okay. It's not going to affect it at all. And we're pouring it purple, so that'll work. All right, so if you want to use your Resin-Crete molds and your resin and then pour resin immediately after that one, I would just say that you're going to have a film on it. It won't be as crystal clear as you're used to it being because it will have like a little dulling effect to it. But if you wash your mold after you use Resin-Crete in it, it's not a problem. It seriously cleans up just perfectly. Just perfectly. Okay. I keep wipes on hand too, because we have a little bit of a mess over here, which I don't even know what it is, but it's driving me crazy and I have to fix it. Okay, we're gonna go with purple. And this is gonna be a lot. I'm gonna say that we're gonna do probably triple the amount of what we just did. And we're gonna pour right back into the same one. Thank you. That is my pigment shelf and my resin additives and such. I love these little shelves. These are like nail polish shelves, and they hold my glitters and my pigments, and they go all the way around the edge of the shelf because this is one set I bought and I'm still using the same set 3 years later. These are the Artesia, because for one thing, or Artesia, I don't know how you say it. I say Artesia because I'm from New Mexico and we have a town called Artesia. But very little bit of this goes extremely, extremely far. And I'm a very conservative person. So I absolutely love these. And I absolutely love the shelves. They're absolutely made for this. I mean, I know they're for nail polish, but for me, they were made for that. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do 6 scoops, guys. 6 scoops. And if we have extra, we'll put them in something else. 1, 2. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of Resin-Crete. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, cost comparison, I think Resin-Crete is a little less expensive, but it takes a lot more of it to fill a mold. So I think they pretty much kind of level themselves out. I really do. So we're going to go back in and we're going to add in 2 scoops. Sorry. 2 scoops of water, because it's a 1 to 3 mixture. 1 and whoops. I'm so glad you guys didn't see that because I just poured the crap out of this. So it is drinking that water up, and we're going to have to definitely add more pigment to this because I overpoured I overpoured it. I did that. I did a thing. So I added too much water. I added like probably 2.5. I don't know though. It feels pretty good. It's actually pretty close to the consistency I like. I like it a little bit thicker. I was pouring things thinner, but I also noticed I was snapping off digits. Like I was snapping off ears or snapping off feet, and that just wasn't acceptable to me because it ruins the piece. I mean, yeah, you can give them a story. Ask Crafty Bliss there. She actually does a hospital setting and she fixes her little wounded people. I think Jennifer New does that with her clay people, which is funny too. So, so we're just mixing. This is still a little on the thin side for me, which I knew it was going to be because I overpoured. So we're going to add just a tiny little bit more, maybe about a half a scoop. And we're going to mix this in. I hope this is enough Resin-Crete. Yeah, I like kind of like a pancake batter feeling to it. So if it stays thick in the pour and not like drips down, that's how I want it. Like you'll get a feel for what you like in Resin-Crete. I mean, if you're not doing delicate pieces, you could probably go thinner, but I have a tendency to try and pour Resin-Crete in everything because I want to do that detail painting or that colorant that we've all grown to love. So we're going to do this one in the new one, which I have lost somewhere on my desk. Here it is. Which, again, we should have gotten ready before we started. Sorry for moving the table. We're going to go with their, ooh, they have No, I was gonna say they have two purples. They have a blue and a purple. It's blue. Oh, that cord is so in the way. And we're going to wipe off the green, which we should have done a minute ago. And cut the purple and pray that it doesn't go everywhere. No idea where that tip just went. Oh, I found it. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do 10 drops. Ten drops because we want this to be a pretty purple. And this is going to really, really pink up. It's going to go super, super light because it's just the nature of it because you're mixing it with white. You could pour it right now and get those swirls actually in your piece, which looks amazing, but that's not the look we're going for with this little guy. Wow, guys. Like, again, I'm just super impressed with the amount of color that I'm getting from this pigment. We're trying to get all the bottom down. Wow, that is just super, super cool. I'm really, really surprised at this. I don't think we have enough Resin-Crete for... I really, really, really don't think we have enough Resin-Crete for this. So this is a bit of a dilemma. I'm going to go ahead and pour the ears in, the ears and the horn, and squish on those a little bit, but I think I'm going to go ahead and add the Resin-Crete filler now, because if not, you're never going to get the same color. So, you know what? That filled quite a bit. I think we have enough. I think we're going to be okay. We're just going to go on blind faith. And yes, there are ways to measure them. Yes, I should do that, and I should have known how much. But since I don't measure my Resin-Crete and I go with the feeling, it wouldn't have mattered if I'd have known it took 400 mLs or 200 mLs or whatever, because I would have probably not poured the right amount anyway. So there's a lot of little pieces in this one, lots of little hairs, lots of little roses. So we're gonna swirl this around to kind of cover, to kind of cover all of those without spilling the Resin-Crete out. We're trying to get those little pieces filled in to prevent bubbles from happening. Will they happen? Probably. It's a lot of detail. Lot of detail work. Okay, I'm more worried about the ones at the bottom than I am the ones at the top, and I think we got those pretty good. So we're going to continue pouring here. And we're about at that halfway mark, so we're going to stop and tap down. See if we can tap up some of those bubbles, fill some of those spaces. And we're going to pour again. I think we have, wow, it's just, you know what? It's a good pouring day. Oh no, I'm going to be short. I'm going to be short. Now the trick is going to be to get the same color to fill in the bottom. This is a tail. Sometimes you can short your pour. Like if you have a large base, like this one has a large base that's here. And sometimes I don't pour this little rim. As long as you get a flat, straight surface on it, you don't have to do it. But this one actually entails the tail and another rose. So we're going to go ahead and mix up some more Resinecrete real quick. And this is always just a shot in the dark. Are you going to be able to make the same color? But luckily there's enough pigment. Wow. We're going to have to do some more purple things because I added way too much water. I need to get a smaller vessel for my water. The trick is also not to knock over your unicorn now because it's sitting beside you when you're stirring. I'm going to mix in as much of the pigment from the sides as I can because that helps to get that colorant in there again without having to add another extra couple of drops because, you know, we did 10 drops for that. The amount of Resinecrete that we still have in here should afford us maybe to do like 3 or 4 to get that same pigment color. And you can see this one is darkening up. Or maybe you can't. It's off camera, I think. 1, 2, 3 is what we're going to do on that. And I feel like that's a little dark. Let me pull this back into view. Sorry, guys. I feel like it might be a little dark. Oh, no. I feel like it's kind of perfect, right? Now, when I've done 2 different pours like that, I go ahead and I kind of do a little bit of a swirl here to mix in the different Resinecrete so that it actually bonds to the one before it. That's just a preference thing and something that I've learned along the way. It helps to make those 2 layers that I poured bond. Okay, this is a wobbly little mold here. It's got me a little scared. Oh, it's such a wobbly mold. So we're going to see if we can find something to stabilize this mold while it dries. I don't think it's going to fit in that. I think this is going to be too big. I think this one's going to be too big, guys. But we're going to try it anyway. At least if it spills, we can pour it back into its own vessel. Okay, that one's off to the side and drying. We're going to, it's very leany. It's very leaning on itself. So I don't want it to be crooked. I don't want a crooked unicorn. We're going to add a little bit to top it off. And we have a lot of purple left. So we're going to do a green and purple skull and hope that these 2 bond. And you do want to go to the top on this one too because the teeth are involved in it. May have gone a little bit high on that one. That's the other thing with Resinecrete. So forgiving. It is so forgiving. So I'm going to teach you a little trick here. We have quite a bit of this left in here. And now I can use the pigment that's in here and pour into another mold, or I can choose to do this and then do a lighter purple and do another big mold. And that's what I'm going to choose to do. So I'm going to do 2 scoops there, add a little bit of water. Like I said, as long as you're mixing your Resin-Crete pretty consistently time-wise, it will stay it'll stay working. It'll give you some more working time. So we're just gonna keep adding water to get this to the consistency that we want, and then we're just gonna continue to use that purple pigment that's in there. And we'll get like a light, pretty lilac purple. I don't know, maybe lilac is dark. Maybe lilac's not the color I'm looking for. I think lilac is darker than, I don't know. It's gonna be purple, guys. It's gonna be a light purple. It's gone from Grimace to not Grimace. Hey, it's morning. It's morning. I haven't had any caffeine yet. Work with me, folks. Work with me. So we're doing a couple of things here. We're cleaning out our cups. So we're getting some of that purple back into the pigment. We're trying not to dump the unicorn in the bucket beside us. We're trying not to dump actually our wolves are already almost dry. We're almost ready to the demold part on that. How amazing is that? Okay, I feel pretty good about this. Maybe a little on the runny side, so let's add a tiny little bit more Resin-Crete. Didn't quite stay on the fork like I like it to. I'm gonna have to pick this up to get it off the table so that I'm not rocking the unicorn. So we're still using the same 3 drops that we used earlier in that Resin-Crete to color this one, and it's still a very pretty purple. I'm really, really impressed. We'll see how these dry. That may be enough. We're gonna pour this body. This is a baddie from my new line. I think we have enough to fill her. Oh no! Should have taken my fork out of there. There's a spot under her arm right here that tends to be getting bubbles. So I'm going to try and squeeze that. And we are not going to have enough. We're going to be just shy of that, but let me show you what we're going to do to fix that. We're going to go back over here to our little bucket, and we're going to actually put some fill pieces in here. This is why I keep these, because it's not going to affect the look of this at all. It's not going to create jagged pieces. It's just simply going to be a filler. And because this is such a pigmented piece, it doesn't matter what colors I put in there. It really doesn't. But we're going to push those down. I mean, you don't want to be super, you don't want to choose a bunch of super jagged pieces. Those were perfect. But they took up enough space now that I'm probably going to have enough Resin-Crete to fill this mold. And if you need to, you can just kind of feel around and make sure there's no sharp edges. No, it started to turn hard on me. So all you got to do is just give it a little mix. and it will literally turn back to a lighter liquid. Just don't let it start to get like super, super like firm. We are still going to be a slight bit shy, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Actually, that's perfect because she's a little long in the legs, and we can do without this little extra like centimeter or so. I mean, if I can get it out of here, I'm going to use it, but she really doesn't need that because she's also going to be sitting on a platform. And that will do it. So that will dry and we will crack it off later. I'm going to tap this baby down so that we get, and you see that I love that shifting of color that's happening right there. I love that. Thank you everyone who's joining. I actually can't see the chat. So I will put this up in just a few minutes and answer any questions. But if Crafty Bliss is still here, she is very, very good with Resinecrete also, and she's answering some questions for me. If she is not still there, I will scroll back up and I will read the chat and answer questions in just a minute. Okay, we're going to let this sit over there and dry. This one's going to be a tough one to, I'm going to go ahead and try and crack it now so that it won't be as hard to do later. Wait till you see cleanup on this, guys. Those of you who do resin and haven't done Resinecrete, wait till you see the cleanup. Are you ready? Let's actually clean up our green cups because they're beyond ready. As I said earlier, these cups have a tendency to crack. But this one looks like it's going to be okay. So all you do is you just literally crack the Resinecrete off of the cup. Oh my goodness. Cleanup is so hard. You got all these little pieces on the table. Brush them into your cup and then put them in your Chuck It bucket. Guys, look how easy cleanup is. This is why I love it so, so, so much. And then if, like I said, if the cups don't crack, then you can use them again. Oh, I cracked that one. I knew I was going to be too rough with it. I cracked that one right down the side, which happens. It happens. Okay. And then, like I said, we'll use those later. Okay. I'm going to pull this up and answer any questions. Sorry, not wearing any makeup. All right, let's see. Let's go back up, and if you do it by weight, it makes the ratios correct. Okay, good to know. I do have a scale, but it's upstairs being used for mailing. So I do need to get another scale. I'm stressing you out. Math is hard, I know. My recommended brand is Litz Resin, but there's so many out there. I've used this one as well. Mix and Mold by Bria Ray. Her pigments are to die for when it comes to her her alcohol inks are my favorite inks on the market, but they're also extremely expensive. So I was really shocked to see that this one was on sale, and I got it for $24.99. I usually pay about $33 for the same amount, but honestly, this one didn't work any differently than the Litz Resin. So I would say shop around. There's probably people who use less expensive brands than I do. I probably should shop around myself, but I have them coming to me automatically so that I don't forget and run out. So I stick with the same brand. So I know I stress everybody out when I pour. Okay, let's see, where else are we at? You do use a different color than resin. I answered. Okay, good. I always try and think, what would I want to know at this particular point? Okay. You will love Resin-Crete, Mary. I'm telling you. You never snapped anything? Good. I really do need to get a scale. Okay. Do you use a different color than regular resin? Yes. It is a water-based colorant. That's what we're actually doing today, is we're trying these We Like. They appear to be a German brand. And I'm really surprised because I had these before. I didn't realize that I had them before. But I was like, oh, and then I have these that came with my resin the first time, and but I didn't know what brand they were, and they were We Like. But I will tell you, I wasn't as impressed with them as I was with J. Diction's colorants. So today we compared J. Diction's to the We Like, and I think you guys are going to be as surprised as I am that I think I'm going to like the We Like better. But let's actually unmold our first two molds. So here we have, this is our We Like, and this is our J. Diction. We Like and J. Diction. Yeah, it's one of my typical go-tos too, except that I actually like J. Diction's resin better than I do Let's Resin. Less Resin, I've had flash cure on me 4 or 5 times. I've never had a problem with flash curing for J. Diction, and they're about the same price. Also, J. Diction is, I don't actually know where J. Diction is made. I almost wanted to say it was American, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that. So, all right. So they're both warm to the touch. They're both very dry already. I usually don't unmold them when they're warm, but I'm going to go ahead and do this for the sake of the discussion today. Okay. So we're going to do the We Like first. And we use the same amount of Resin-Crete, and we use the same amount of drops, so that we tried to get the same color comparison. Ooh, it's very hard to unmold with gloves on. I'm going to be careful with the ears because it's still warm. We don't want to pop off any little ears. We don't want to pop off any ears. And this is usually in the process where it happens. Oh, we have some variation in color, which I like. I like it when they puddle color. I know some people probably like a consistent color. If that's your thing, you could either mix more than I did, or add less pigment. But I personally like this variation of color. When you get that variation, as it dries, it does change. Sometimes it will actually darken up. Wait till you see these guys tonight. I will show them again tonight. They're not going to be the ones for adoption tonight because I need them for the Thursday show. But he looks great. We did get a bubble right here on the ear. Maybe that is not a bubble. That is actually a patch of fur. Just kidding. Okay, now here we go with the J. Diction. I'm expecting this to be lighter because when we mixed it, we actually had, thank you, Sadies. We actually had we had a very much lighter color. But I think I see darker in the head. So maybe it settled a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna be careful with the ears here. We're going to be careful with their little earies and their feet. Like, try not to pull. I've snapped feet doing that because I really should have let them go a little bit longer. I try and let them start to go cool, but I can't stay on here very much longer, so I wanted to go ahead and unmold these two. And I don't think we're going to get to unmold the unicorn. So we'll unmold him tonight on our live. It's Mini Monday Unmold. So at 8:30 tonight, we will do our wolf show. Our wolves are up for adoption, and our wolves actually support the White Wolf Sanctuary in Tidewater, Oregon. We donate the profits to them to that sanctuary, and they feed the wolves or get them whatever they need. So after that, we do unmolding. We're so about to lose these molds. They're really, really falling apart. Okay. He's pretty too. He is definitely a lighter green though. Let me turn my molds back right side in. I like to do that right away. And you can see actually this is the red mold. It actually did take a lot of that back out. So that is good. I keep my wolves beside me because I pour them all the time. And it's still never enough. Never enough wolfies. All right, so here you have side-by-side comparison. You do have a more consistent color from the J Diction. I don't see any color pulling whatsoever, but I have had color pulling with J Diction, so I think it's just that one happened to pour pretty. I do have tons of mail tonight. It is an open mail Monday. We do the mail. It never fails. I am already loving the coloring shifting on this one. This is the We Like. I know. That's the best thing about Resincrete is the fast unmolding, and you have a product that's already sellable in this state. Have I sold them like this? Absolutely. I'm going to do some things with these. Oh, we got a raid. I cannot see. Can somebody tag and say thank you for me? I'm also gloved up. We're doing a Resincrete Create with me today. Welcome in. My name is Rochelle. If this is your first time in, this is Basement Brats Art. We just poured these beautiful little wolves. We actually did a side-by-side comparison on two different types of pigments. Oh, it's Riri. Okay. Right? I don't know. I cannot see because my contacts are very fuzzy. Riri's, I think it is Riri. Oh, Ray Ray. Ray Ray? Ray Ray 33, but you changed your name? That's what I'm thinking. So this is, yes, hi. Good to see you, and thank you for bringing your friends in. I didn't set any giveies up, and I apologize for that, but we'll give plenty of giveies tonight if you guys want to come back and watch the show. We are going to unmold some stuff. This little body is ready to unmold. This is a baddie. She will get a ton of, what is the word I'm looking for? Embellishments. She will be greatly embellished. If you guys are shy about naked bodies, you might not want to look because she's naked. But see, we didn't pour as high up as we like to on her. So we've got a little bit of a leg issue, but that's going to, again, be sitting on a base. Yes, thank you so much for bringing your friends in. So this mold has a little tear or a little hole in the booty. So we just call that a little butt dimple, and we tell people that that's how you know it's a baddie. That's how you know it's a basement brat baddie, because it's got that little dimple. So the Resincrete the question is, does Resincrete bond with UV or the epoxy resins? Yes, it does. So what you can't do is you cannot pour Resincrete onto regular resin, but you can pour regular resin onto Resincrete. It can't be the other way around because the resin will not The Resincrete will not stick to the resin, but the resin will stick to the Resincrete. So you can epoxy these, you can top coat them, you can use it as a bonding agent for your pieces. So definitely we do a lot of trays and then pour UV resin to cure it, to cover it. Yeah. And also, if you want to do a tray really fast, like a big tray, you can pour a clear, or you can pour a layer of Resincrete and then put your additives on top of it. Like if you're doing a UV DTF, I highly recommend, first of all, you clean your surface because it is dusty. It's got a little bit of dust residue. So things don't want to stick to it. Let it dry really well. And then you can wipe it clean. I have learned to spray an adhesive or a clear coat, and then your adhesive will stick to it better. So things that I've learned to help that process. Naughty, nerdy narwhal. Okay, here's our little girl that we just unmolded. We got some variations in the lines. Remember, we had to add different colorants in to get that. She is naked, so it's the daylight hours, so we're gonna do a little covering there. But I think she is absolutely beautiful. There's her little butt dimple. She will be a garden goddess later on. You guys will see her later in the month. But yeah, we did that in I think even maybe 20 minutes. She's warm to the touch right now, but then whenever I have been using her a lot lately. I use her a lot. That's one of my key pieces of my line right now. I have a baddie line, which is really, really super cool. It's Bad A Women. It's early hours, but you can put your own words in there. It rhymes with brass. And that's one of the ones that you saw earlier, the volcano girl. This is Taka. She is the goddess. She's a goth angel. So she's the goddess of the islands, and she's a volcano because she is the she's Taka. She's the bad villain from Moana. Yeah. And so she's also Tafiti. Whenever they restore her heart, she becomes Tafiti again. But this is her in her bad state, in her angry state. She's not really bad. She's just pissed off because they've stolen her heart. So I love her. I had to bring her downstairs because her wings they have volcanic rock in them, and her wings were just too heavy. So even though I didn't necessarily want her to be a bonded goth angel with the wires, it was necessary for her to be stable. And Nightmare, the girl who bought her, I think she's actually going to love that she's bonded because, Taka doesn't get to leave the island. She is actually bonded to her island because she's an island, right? She can't just leave her island. All right. So I think she's going to be okay with it being bound. And I think I'm going to have to bound most of mine to get those wings to stick because I'm very concerned over the wings not being able to travel well in shipping. And I will tell you, shipping these are the least of, they're worth it. They're definitely worth it. But shipping them is, I will spend an hour wrapping that and finding the right box and cutting the right silicone. I can't wait. Can we open this one up and not tell everybody tonight on Unmold Monday that we already did it? Can we do it, guys? What do you think? Okay, let's unmold this one first. Let's see if those two bonded together, or if we're going to have a green head and a purple bottom that don't work together. A little bit of E6000, we can make it work, but oh, they bonded. They bonded. Thank you so much, Sadie. Okay, we got a little bubble there. Ooh, it turned out kind of cool though. That's kind of cool. You can definitely see that the struggle there to get those two to bond together. Usually if you're going to mix colors, you want to pour them right away. So I actually really love the way that one turned out. And we'll probably use this one as a suicide awareness piece since I do love this one. Yeah. We'll use this as a suicide awareness piece because that is the colors. It was accidental today, but that is the colors of suicide awareness. So can we open it? Oh no, it's just unmolding itself. It's still very hot. I should wait. But I also want it to kind of dry because I might want to embellish it. Oh my gosh. Just look at that so far. Look, you can hardly tell that little swirl that we put in there really mixed the two different colors together. Okay, so she has, I'm going to have to set her on the table. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. I might have a new favorite mold. I don't know what's going on with this chin here. I don't know what that is all about, but we might do something different with that. I don't like that. Oh my goodness, though, guys. Look at the little detail in the nose for the skull. I think we did great in choosing the purple. I think purple was definitely what we wanted to do with this one for its first time. I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with this one. It's still very hot to the touch, so it's got a lot of drying still to do. I don't know what we're going to do with this, but I don't like that. It is a cool mold. I bought it. I saw it on, I'm just going to crack this out because I just don't like this chinny chin chin thing that's going on. It's just weird. So I may have to, I don't know. I don't know what that is. But we're going to take that out. I bought it used from Crazy Cool Rocks. Had it in his or her, I actually have never caught their show, in their bin. And it had a pre-bid on it for like $3 or $4. And I was like, yeah. And then I missed their show. And then it just showed up in the mail. And I was like, oh, I won that auction. So a pre-bid actually really worked out for me because I loved this one from the second I saw it. And I had never seen it though before. Like I hadn't seen it on Temu or anything else. Okay, this is some drama trying to get that off of there, but we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna have to look inside the mold and see what that is. I like that so much better. And I will sand that down also and fix that. I don't know if it's supposed to be part of the main. I don't know. I don't like it. Oh, there we go. There we go. That looks a lot better. I'll still do some sanding on that, but I really like that a lot better. All right, guys. It is going on noon. We have been on since about 10:30, and it did stain. This is a stain in the mold, so we'll just know that for future reference that it was stained when it came to me, and that's okay. It doesn't do anything to its so that's what's causing that space right there. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it's a tear in the mold. I feel like it's a tear in the mold. It's unfortunately told, but or torn. Hey, Bent, how are you? It is torn there. I think that's what's causing that, but you know what? It's okay. Now I know that I love this mold. I will actually search for a replacement for it, because I will probably wear this one out. I can see this being a big seller for me. So, um, we do a lot of dark and creepy things on our show. Not a lot, but we're not. Brian's a dark and creepy person, but I'm not. Just kidding, Brian. Um, but I do like to create in the dark and creepy realm of things. So that's the truth of it all. All right. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for being here today. Thanks for watching the process. I hope that you guys have learned something about Resin-Crete and maybe are taking away a new hobby. Look at this. Look how cool the cleanup is. We're just literally cracking this into a bucket because we cracked the bottom earlier. It's beautiful. This can be reused over and over and over and over and over again. And then you can use this, yes, as terrazzo chips over and over and over again. This is one of those, we knocked over a mold and it wound up in one of our mats. So that's a big piece we've got to use later. But you can use them as fillers. You can also use them as chips. I've not gotten really good at that. Somebody told me to put them in your mold before you pour, and that helps a lot, and that makes sense. So so the other thing, you can put them in, you lay them down like multicolored, and then you sand it and the colors shine through, so you have like speckled and really pretty colored Resin-Crete. So I do want to try that again. Was that you, Brian, that said that? I think also Uniquely Me Resin told me that as well. So today's pieces, 2 different colorants. You can still tell, even though they are out of the molds, you can tell the difference in the pigmentation. This is We Like. It was also very inexpensive compared to the J Diction. This one was less expensive. And this is J Diction. Still a beautiful pigment. I still stand by it. I think it's good. I would recommend it. But I really, really do like the darkness. I don't think I would have gotten this purple of a color from J Diction with as few drops as I used. So I really am impressed with that today. Really impressed. So, and then this was a lighter version of, we just mixed in a little bit more of the Resin-Crete to create this lighter purple color and didn't even have to add any more drops. So yeah, I could make a dark unicorn. There is black in my new set because I've been out of black for a while now. So a black concrete looking skull unicorn will be amazing. So, all right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. I need to go get some, oh, and then also our somewhat failed piece, but not really, because we can sand all this and make it look amazing. Although it's a skull, you know. Right? I like the stripe across the face for sure. You never know what you're going to get till you unmold. You never know. So I'm going to get off here, go get some breakfast. I have some errands to run this afternoon. I have to finish shipping my beautiful volcano girl. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I do a Monday night show at 8:30 Eastern time. Every Monday without fail at 8:30, I am there. Even if I come on just to say, hey, I'm not having a show, which is very, very rare. I will have some things to unmold. It will probably be Resin-Crete. So I have a lot of things on this table to unmold. And then Tuesday, we have Meet the Resonators. If you are a new resin artist or you're new to my channel, I help to bring attention to a group of people called the Resonators, and they are the Resonators of Whatnot. It is a collection of people who do resin on Whatnot, and they share information. They have a very active Discord, so you can get on there and you can ask questions. You can see other people's creations. There is also 2 trains a month. One is actually a train and the other is an exhibition. It's a short little show where we create 5 pieces and within a certain theme to see how diverse and different we are. So that is something that you can participate in if you're a resin artist. So on Tuesday, we have 2 shows. Our first show is Meet the Resonators, and we have 2 amazing artists for you to meet. And the whole idea of Meet the Resonators is to talk about what they do besides resin art. So we talk a little bit about their resin journey, but then we talk to them about what else do you sell, what else do you make, so that we can help each other to be successful on the platform, not just in our resin, but successful in our selling abilities. So that is something new and up and coming. And then directly after that, we will have the launch of our May resin train. We have not announced who's conducting. We have not announced the theme, so we're very excited about that. 9:30 tonight, or excuse me, on Tuesday, Eastern Time, 9:30. We will announce who that is. You guys are gonna love it, and what the theme is. You guys are gonna love it, and then we'll open up the registration and get everybody a spot. So I'm excited. Um, I have the worst allergies. Wednesday, if I can manage it, I have a show called Chats with the Brats. It's a new show where we talk about highlighting resin art, what we can do to be more successful in our shows. I am by no means an expert at all, but I do sit in a lot of resin shows, a ton of resin shows, and we're just going to cover some of the do's and don'ts and to help everybody to be successful sellers on the platform. I can tell you, I have struggled. I have cried. I have threatened to quit. I have walked away for a week. I walked away for a month, but I've come back and I have found what is for me is a comfortable success. Would I like to sell more? Yes. But is it reasonable? No. I can only make 1 or 2 baddies a week because it really literally takes me so much time. The last ones took 6 hours a piece. That's 12 hours of creation time in a week. Um, and they take me about another hour of shipping and another like maybe 30 minutes of paperwork time. So like you have to figure out what is it that you want to do and what line of sales do you want to go into. So we're going to talk about some of those things that I have found that have helped me just to help other sellers who are new. Again, I am not an expert. I am not coming on here bragging. I just hit my 1K. I am really, really new to Whatnot too. I just hit my 1 year, but there are only so many hours in a day. And you have to gauge your success by what is it that you want to create. Do you want to do 500 of these a day and sell 500 of these a day? Perfect. You have all the production time in the world. But if you're talking about your success pieces, and these are my most successful line, this took 6 hours to make. So I know that I'm going to have to gauge that time by my production time also, right? So it all depends on your philosophy, but I'm just going to be there to help people, cuz we get a lot of questions on Discord. How do you keep people in your shows? How do you get people coming back? Those are the things we're going to talk about in that Wednesday show. And again, not an expert. These are just things that I have found and that I've learned from other very successful sellers. I do go to a ton of chat shows. Listen, I am not the expert on shipping. I'm not the, but I will tell you who is. I can tell you who is the trusted people on Whatnot to ask about shipping. Those sort of things, not good at. But when it comes to presentation and selling, I think I can offer a little bit of advice that might be helpful to other people. And then we'll choose a different topic every single month. We're going to do one of those a month. So that's on Wednesday, and then Wednesday evening I do resell. I have to do resell, guys, because that pays for my resin. Again, I really, when I first started, I really, really wanted I wanted to be that person who got to that 1,000 sales by just selling my artwork. And I wanted to be able to sustain my income with just selling my artwork. It wasn't realistic for me. I have to do other things to sustain my income. Whatnot is a great platform. So I did decide to go into doing resell as well. I do that 1 day a week. I do it on cross category shows. My resin shows are my resin shows. My resale shows are my resale shows. I don't blur the lines on those very often, but it helps to be diversified in your selling here on Whatnot if you want to be successful also. So I have that show on Wednesday nights. It is also to help me get rid of some things in my house and to get rid of things that I bought initially for resale. So I will have that Wednesday night. And then Thursday is a Wolfie night. Oh, nice. I probably can be on and off Whatnot today, so I'll try and catch that. What time is it? Then on Thursday, we have our Wolf night again. And then on right after the Wolves, we have a baddie release. We try and release one baddie a night or one baddie a week, and that's on Thursday. However, I do have 6 or 7 commission pieces that I'm working on also. And if they agree to release them on a live, then I will show one on a live. So nice. Cup wraps and DTFs. I love it. I wish I had money because, I don't have very many of those. They're very coveted to me. The ones that I have are coveted. So that is what's going on with my week. And then I take Fridays off, guys, unless I have a raid train that I really want to participate in. I try and take Fridays off, and the same for Saturday and Sunday, because I do need that time for production and shipping and all of the things that happen. Although this week I had 2 raid trains on Sunday, one on Saturday, one on Friday. I think I was off Friday. So Friday was my only day off this last week. And so I'm feeling that. I feel that. Like, your mental health is important too. So do take some downtime for yourself. And for me, that's Fridays. So now you know me, you know my schedule, you know what's going on. It's a lot. It's a lot. If you counted those shows up, it's about 7 or 8 shows. It's a lot. So I'm going to try and do a create with me at least once a week. That is my goal for this month, and we'll see if that's going to be a steady thing. Sometimes I do just like the downtime in my studio to just pour and create and make a mess and make mistakes and learn from them and fix them before you guys see them. But also, I do really like teaching. So if there's something that you guys would like me to do live, please let me know, and I will set that up for next Monday. I'm not 100% sure they're always going to be on Mondays, but I will set it up for sometime next week. If there's a certain class that you would like to know about, I will do a live. And if not, and I will see you guys tonight at 8:30. Do we have any of our friends? You took half of last week off. That's awesome. Are there any of our friends that we need that? It's necessary. And guys, by the way, I'm done with cleanup. All I have to do is put these away now, and my cleanup for Resincrete is done. Uniquely still on? Okay. Yeah, I hated that we were on opposite of each other. I was like, don't. But I think she did a pop-up. So I didn't know that in advance, or I would not have gone on opposite of me, Amiga. But it happens sometimes. Thank you. Thank you for the raid again. I really, truly, honestly appreciate it. I wish I would have had some stuff in my bin to do a giveaway, but I apologize for that. I'll try and get better at these. All right, we're going to raid into Uniquely. You guys stay on for her. She's amazing. She's a great artist, and she is one of the founding sisters of the Resonators. So join in, and let's see what she's doing. Forgot how to do a raid. Uniquely me. Here we come. Bye, guys.